boys and girls. This is not going to be a long video because I think it's pretty self-explanatory. So this chapter is about multiplying. So remember that the answer that you get when you multiply is called the product. So in the first equation, we see 612 times 4. Right away when you see an equation that is written in the horizontal form, you don't want to try to solve it like that. The first thing that you do is you write that same equation, but write it vertically. And remember, just like you've done with addition, subtraction, please make sure that you put your units under your units. So here it is, same equation, but you have written it in the vertical form. So it's 612 times 4. And then you do 2 times 4 is 8. Make sure the 8 goes in the units. And then you do tens times units. So 1 times 4 is 4. 4 what? 4 tens. Then you do hundreds times units. So 6 times 4 is what? 24. And in that case, you write the 4 in the hundreds and the 2 in the thousands. And so your product is 2,448. Once you've got the product there, then transfer it into this equation, 2,448. Now you see this equation. Well, this one is 4 times 395 equals, they want to know the product. Right away, I see an equation that's written in the horizontal form, and I want to make sure that I write it vertically because things in the vertical fashion are always so much easier to solve. In this case, you've got to also switch something else. Put the bigger number at the top. So now I've written that same equation because it doesn't matter if I flip these two around, but put the bigger number at the top, 395 times 4. 5 times 4 is 20, 0 units, carry your tens. 9 tens times 4. So remember, first you multiply, then you add. Don't do what a lot of kids do. They would do 9 plus 2. It's not 9 plus 2. It's first you multiply, then you add. So remember the word mad that we talk about all the time. It's multiply, then add. So 9 times 4 is 36. 36 plus 2 is 38. 8 tens, carry the 3 into your hundreds. Remember the word mad. Multiply first and then you add. 3 times 4 is 12. 12 plus 3 is 15. And there you can write 5 in the hundreds and 1 in your thousands. So your product is 1,580. And I can transfer it into this equation over here. So again, the two things that you had to remember when you saw this equation was number 1, write it vertically. And number 2, always put the bigger number at the top when you're multiplying. There you go. Then on the next page, you would see equations like this. So my equation is 5 times 7 times 6 is equal to, and they want you to find the product. So you have to do little steps. First, you should do 5 times 7. Well, 5 times 7 is 35. Maybe write it underneath. Times 6 is equal to. Now again, I've got a bigger equation written in the horizontal way. I don't want it horizontally, so let's write it vertically. And there we have it. So here's my equation, 35, and again, the bigger number is always at the top, 35 times 6. Let's do 5 times 6 is 30. Actually, do a better job than I did. Make sure that you really put the 0 under the units. So it's 30, so it's 0 units, 3 tens. Now I've got 3 times 6. Remember the word mad. Multiply first, then you add. 3 times 6 is 18. 18 plus 3 is 21. 110, 200. So my product is 210, and I transfer it into this equation, 210.